What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We've got the EX2 Mini here, and it's actually been a while since we visited the aftermarket battery testing. I was on a mission to try to find an aftermarket battery that would live up to what the stock battery does, and I have not been able to find anything yet. We've tried batteries with the same specs as the stock battery. We've tried batteries with better specs, and none of them have lived up to what the stock battery is able to produce. So I've got a gentleman from the UK who's been commenting on my my video. His YouTube name is Max, and to his credit, this is all credit to him. This is his idea, as far as I know. What he's been testing out is he's been testing out some Sony batteries, and these are the VTC6 batteries. They're 18650 battery. They're a 30 amp battery, and he's been doing some indoor testing with it, and he's been able to get 13 minutes of hovering before the LVC starts. Now that's a lot different than testing it out on the field when you're flying while the drone's under load, but that's what we're gonna do. So I did pick up the batteries. These are the Sony batteries here that he was mentioning in the comments. So I picked those up. I paid a little bit more than I should have. I sourced them in North America on eBay. If I would have bought them overseas, they would have been a lot cheaper. But right now, it cost me about the same for these batteries here as it did a stock battery. So we've got those, and he was also giving some pointers. He knew that I did the JST aftermarket battery thing here to allow the JST, but he said you might want to go with something a little heavier duty to reduce some voltage drop. So that's what we've done. We put a Dean's connector in there now, and that's what we'll be using with this testing. So I came to thinking, how am I going to mount these? Like, I believe he's just strapping them or gluing them to the quad. I wanted to do something a little different, and as you know, I like my mods to look clean. I don't like them to look like they're, I don't know, kind of like a hack job. So what I've done is I've put some Velcro on the sides here of the EX2 Mini here, or the Bugs 3 Mini, and I've made up a little like battery pack for it. So I picked up some 18650 battery trays here, and we've wired them up for it to be a 2-cell, and basically now all I have to do, see if I can get this on video for you guys, is I just will pop this off because I have to have it on the right way so that it lines up with that. So all I have to do now is I just put one side on, like so, other side on like that. I got this wire just hanging in the front here, and now we can connect it like this. It's all soldered up. I just put some of that liquid tape over top of the solder just to cover it up there. And what I also do when the batteries are in, and I just kind of shove that down into here like that. And what I do when the batteries are in, I'm not going to put them in right now, but I take a strap, just a little bit precaution here, just to prevent the batteries from falling out. So that's how I'm going to run it. Obviously the batteries will be in the trays there, but that's how I'm going to run it. We're going to take this out into the field. We're going to give it a little bit of a test run and see how it does. I am going to run the stock battery again, and we'll see how that does, and just so we can do a direct comparison at the same time. We could look back at the old video, and it was somewhere between 4 and 5 minutes, but we'll just do another run with the stock battery, and then we'll do a run with these Sony 18650 batteries and see how they do. Looks promising. I'm hoping it works out, but that's what we're going to do, though. We're going to test it and see if it works out. So anyways, guys, we're going to pack this up here. We're going to take it out to the field, and we're going to test these out. So stay tuned for that. All right, guys, we're out on the field here. The last time I actually had the EX2 Mini out here was the original one I had, and the ESC blew out on it. Hopefully we don't have that problem this time. Yeah, we're continuing our aftermarket battery testing. Now, it's been a while since I've tested the stock batteries here head-to-head with aftermarket, and we're going to be using those Sony 18650 batteries that we picked up off eBay and made a little, made the little
kind of battery pack out of them. Anyways, we're gonna put the stock battery in here. This is the 7.4 volt 850 milliamp 45C battery in the EX2 Mini, and got her there. We've got the stock transmitter here. Now I did take the beeper out of the stock transmitter because the EX2 Mini is not going to get far enough away from me where I can't hear the beeper in there. And honestly, this one in the transmitter, pretty loud, pretty annoying. Anyways, windy day here. We're gonna start the motors. There, we're in high rate, and that's one thing actually, a disadvantage of taking the beeper out of the transmitter, is I can't hear when I'm in high rate, so I'm looking at it. Anyways, we're gonna see how long of a flight we get here. And if those 18650 batteries work out, we're gonna not actually show you the full flight. I don't think we'll definitely we'll cut it. And what I'm waiting for is the LVC to kick in. Great range with the EX2 Mini here. Absolutely love this drone. This is a fun one that's easy to transport and just whatever, take out to the park like I'm doing here for a quick flight. And it handles that wind no problem. And we're just going to run this test on high speed. We're not going to do anything else but just fly it. Oh, we had a little bit of a crash there, guys, but we're still running. We'll get it back up in the air there. I kind of lost sight of it. I got it in behind me. The wind took it a bit. All right. I don't think that messes with our testing here at all. Basically what happened, it just landed on top of the dugout there. I'll keep it out in front of me for now, lesson learned. Just look at that pitch. That thing nose down. She's fast. I've been waiting for a few weeks now to be able to get out and test this one. I've had this pack built. I haven't been able to do anything but other than hover it for a few minutes in the garage. If you recall from the last videos, I'll definitely put some cards up for that. But the last videos, our ESC was kicking in under a minute on any aftermarket battery that we were testing. We were testing batteries with a higher discharge rate, higher milliamp hours, and still none of them were even close to what the stock EX2 Mini battery here was getting. Now, the EX2 Mini battery, we were getting somewhere between 4 and 5 minutes before the LVC was kicking in. And I actually haven't flown this since I've taken the transmitter beeper out, so hopefully I do hear the LVC on the drone. If I remember correctly, I do, so we shouldn't have an issue. I'm kind of thinking I might one day throw the GPS on this thing and see how fast it is. I think this drone will be able to carry it no problem. I definitely recommend this drone, either the EX2 Mini or the Bugs 3 Mini. Same drone. They're awesome. Great drone to have in your collection. Manual flyer. Another one of those drones that I would say is on par with the SEMA X5 or X8 for learning how to fly a drone properly. Range on this is great. Some people have had issues with the range. I've never had it drop out of the sky due to range issues. I'm keeping it pretty low here. It is definitely breezy out today, but not so bad, you know, within there. There's the LVC. Okay, we can hear the LVC. We'll definitely we'll land it here right now. I'm not keeping track of the time right now, but we'll definitely look at that once we get back home and throw it on the computer. All right, much better with the LVC just on the drone rather than the transmitter. I like that a lot, actually. All right, so we're gonna take that out now, and we'll be right back with the 18650 batteries in there. All right, guys, we've got the battery holders or adapters there on the EX2 Mini, Velcroed to it. We're gonna throw the actual 18650 batteries in there, and we're gonna see what we get. But anyways, there we go. We're safe. Batteries are not gonna fall out. We did change out from the mod the JST connector to the Dean's connector there, and let's see what we get. Hopefully we get a little bit little more here. All right, batteries up. We're in high right now. Don't so much notice the extra weight on there. It still flies pretty good. Actually, it seems a little bit more stable. It does take a little bit longer to get the speed, but we're not too worried about that. We're looking for duration before the LVC. And like I mentioned, none of the aftermarket options I've tried have lasted anywhere over a minute yet. Everything's been close to or well below a minute. I am going to be flying it close to me because I need to be able to hear that LVC. So we'll be going out a ways and bringing it back. I actually liking the way it flies with that extra weight on there though. Just seems to be a little more steady in the air. Like it's handling the wind a bit better. Oh, LVC's kicked in, guys. So now we're gonna keep going with it for a little longer here. LVC did kick in, and that was definitely under a minute. So this did not work during a flight test. I had it hovering for several minutes in my garage, roughly 8 minutes. Now this is with no load on the batteries, but yeah, no LVC until about 8 minutes. So I had hoped this was going to work. One other thing we can try is we can try using a little bit heavier gauge wire. I've got it all built, those battery packs built with 18 gauge wire. I believe the guy who's been communicating with me on my video has used 14 gauge wire. So we'll try that, and actually he's the reason I changed out the JST connector to the Dean's connector. And his theory was he was worried about dropping voltage, and maybe that's what's happening here with the 18 gauge wire. Maybe it's not carrying enough power to the actual drone and it's triggering the LVC. We're gonna fly it here for a bit, and maybe we'll just see how long it takes before I notice it sagging, before I notice the power not able to really fly the drone. And this was part of the reason I took that beeper out, was because I didn't want to have to hear that if I decided to keep flying the drone. And we'll take it out there a little ways. It is definitely starting to drop in power there. Now these are the exact batteries that he was testing, so this is why I purchased them, and I did pay a bit more for them to source them locally here in North America. I think right now I'm not sold on the mod. We can definitely build a battery pack for cheaper though, if I were to buy it overseas, these batteries, than purchasing a new battery. But with it not lasting even a minute there in flight time before the LVC kicked in, I'm not sure if it's even worth it. What we'll do is we are going to switch that 18 gauge wire out for some 14, and we'll try it out again. And when I do that, I'll try it out, and if it works out, I'll definitely bring this mod back and show you guys on the channel. And that's about it, guys. Starting to get a little weak there, so we're gonna leave it at that. Anyways, guys, that was a little 18650 battery mod there that I had high hopes for, that so far has let us down. But definitely, if you like this video, make sure you give it a like. If you're new to the channel, I'd really appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button before you head out. And remember, don't be a stranger. See you on the next one. See ya.